here with this copy of Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem, which is a classic GameCube game. I would say maybe my favorite GameCube game. I would rank it, I guess, just below The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. I think this game would be number 2 on my list of must-play GameCube games. I am playing this on an emulator. I'm playing it on the Dolphin emulator. I've never really messed around with the Dolphin emulator before, but it was very easy to set up. It didn't even require a BIOS or anything like various PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 emulators that I've screwed around with. You just put some software on your Wii and rip your GameCube discs. See, I actually have a game. I have an actual copy of this game. Actually, I didn't put any special software on my Wii to rip the disc. I just downloaded an ISO because I'm just too lazy to bother ripping my own games. Come on. So I messed around with the settings a little bit. I think I've got them mostly where I want them. This game actually, as far as I can tell, is one of the very first games to run, like, have a native 16:9 option. So you can go back and put this into a Wii and play it on a widescreen TV, and it looks pretty dang good.
Before time, before humanity. I am Dr. Edward Roivas.
Try not to talk too much over this opening cutscene.
I am also dead.
If he's dead, how is he talking to us?
Nor even the story of the Roivas family. It is the story of humanity. Like it or not,
actually, it's the story of Silicon Knight's
your perceptions will not change reality, but simply correct.
Cthulhu mythos rip-off story, but
for 2 millennia, ignorant of so much.
We'll let that slide. I mean, Dr. Roivas is dead after all.
The Guardians grow restless.
You don't want to be too pedantic when you're dealing with the deceased.
Once again near. Whether by fate or misfortune, my family has crossed their path, and they didn't take kindly to it.
Oh, those elder gods.
Their attention turns to my granddaughter, for she is the last of my line, and the last hope for humanity.
Dun dun dun. But yeah, this game, I mean, it came out before Resident Evil 4 and was kind of a revelation in the world of survival horror style games. Silent Hill 2 and I think Silent Hill 2 came out before this. And that didn't force you to use tank controls. It had an option for direct control of your character, but it was a little bit janky. It never really felt good, but the combat in this game is surprisingly fun for one of these games.
Remember me, Alex?
Yeah, but last time I saw you weren't a blue ghost. But yeah, so you have direct control over your characters. There were games like Devil May Cry that gave you direct control with fixed camera angles, but it always kind of felt awkward the way you would run from scene to scene and have to, like, sort of swoop the control stick back around to keep moving in the same direction.
With your grandfather.
I'll be on the next flight out.
I'll be interested to see actually how the that little pre-rendered scene doesn't hold up quite so well. It looks a little rough, but I'll be interested to see how the combat holds up in this game. I remember liking it a lot for one of these games.
I'm pleased to meet you.
But that was in the context of the original Resident Evil games and the original Silent Hills.
Yes, my condolences. This
which all had terrible combat.
It's a shame we couldn't meet under brighter circumstances.
Well, that was the point, wasn't it?
Can we get this over with, please?
Of course. This way.
Part of the reason those games were scary was because they restrained your movement, and
I'm afraid there's not much to see.
The zombies were dangerous because you couldn't outrun them or outmaneuver them very easily. And in subsequent entries in the series, like 4 and
Miss
5 and
Roivas,
6, they had to speed up the enemies to keep up
that
with the
your
character
grandfather,
movement.
Edward?
Yes, it's him. He's wearing our family ring.
If she can tell it's him just by the ring. Could be anybody with the
I don't
ring
understand.
on, right?
Why are you showing me
That is
this?
a good question.
Can't you check dental
Why are you
records or
casually
something?
drinking
What's
coffee?
wrong with you?
That's usually not how the police operate.
I'm sorry.
Could've
It's
taken
my
him to the
job,
morgue
lady.
first,
You're the
right?
only living relative, and no, we can't check dental records. There's no head. No, none of this makes sense. There's no sign of intrusion, and there was certainly a lot of force used here.
Oh man,
I've
this
never
setup is
seen
a
anything like this
little
in
bit
my
rough.
20 years on the force. We have no evidence except for the body, and what's left doesn't say much. Ugh, we don't have a single clue.
Well, you better find out who did this. I'm not leaving Rhode Island until you do. There
How did
must
she
be
get to Rhode
some
Island
clue
so
in this old
fast?
mansion revealing what happened. I want answers.
So do I. I wish I had some.
Okay, 2 weeks later. So I don't have a little hard time keeping track of the timeline there at the beginning, but because they called her and then she showed up. I can only assume a few hours later, I guess, or maybe I don't know. But now it's 2 weeks later, and we're going to explore this mansion and try and solve the mystery of Alex's grandfather's demise. Vows to uncover the truth. She decides to search the mansion, the place where Edward conducted his research. If there was a tie to his past and possibly a tie to his murder, it would be here. Okay. Well, let's look around this mansion. Let's check out this clock. Detail. A beautiful carriage clock. The hands appear to be stuck, yet the clock continues to tick, with the time permanently set to 3:33, which was the time she was called, for the time that she woke up from her nightmare. I want to remember the time, 3:33. There's a key in the back of the clock, presumably for winding it. Should we look at the key? I mean, yes. Ooh, it's a dresser key. So I played this. This was a rare game that I played multiple times when it came out. There are 3 like weird elder gods that'll give you different magics, and they give you slightly different endings. Like you kind of pick one to associate with at a certain point in the game, and they give you magic, and then they affect which ending you get, and then there's like a 4th ending for playing through the game a 4th time. So I played through this game 4 times within like a month or 2 of when it came out, which is not a thing that I do very often. I will put 100 hours into a game or 200 hours into a multiplayer game or whatever. I don't have a problem with that, but rarely will I play a game to completion more than once. But I just had so much fun with this that I couldn't stop playing it. And I just kind of had to see all the endings. And also, well, it takes probably somewhere between 12 and 15 hours to finish it your first time through. Subsequent playthroughs are like 7 or 8 hours, which still means that I played this game a hell of a lot. And I don't really remember the payoff being that great. I think you get some special spells on the 4th playthrough, and it kind of ties up a few loose plot ends, but I don't know if it was worth putting like 30 extra hours into the game just to get the extra endings, but the warm glow of the candlelight, the Roivas family tree hangs from the wall. Shadows flitter across its surface, obscuring the detail. If one looks closely, the family's secrets are revealed. Well, we should just look at that. We should just, if we want to know the secrets of the family, we could just read that, I guess, right? I think each of these rooms kind of hides pages of this book that will take you to various places in the Roivas timeline. But I I don't know. It's been a long time since I played this game, probably close to 10 years. So I don't really remember all the. I don't really remember all the puzzles. I don't think I can. I'm pretty sure the upstairs is locked. Let's see. If I at least clean up the body now. Okay, it's gone. What's this? Books in this corner seem to focus on the supernatural. The writings of Poe, Lovecraft, the poetry of Blake, the art of Bosch. Everything with a tie to ethereal horror or fantasy. Okay. His secret hobby was that he liked horror written by racists, I guess. I can examine that, but I can't do anything with it. That is a hell of a nice low-res painting. It's also really weird to think that there was a time when Silicon Knights was considered one of the hottest and most interesting developers in video games. But after this game came out, I remembered the, let's see, I think I want to set this to 333. Did I get it? There we go. But so before this game, they put out a PlayStation 1 game called The Legacy of Kain, which was kind of a weird hybrid between like an action game a la Diablo and like maybe a little Baldur's Gate-y, because it had some more character interaction stuff, if I remember correctly. It's been a really long time. It's been even longer since I played that game. But that game was very unique in terms of its place on in like the PlayStation library. I think that if that game had come out on PC instead of PlayStation, it probably wouldn't be remembered as fondly, but there wasn't a lot like that on the PlayStation 1 at the time. I mean, eventually, like, there was a PlayStation version of Diablo that came out, and then there were more action RPGs that came out later in the system's life, and there was a bunch of really good ones on the PlayStation 2. But if you didn't have a PC at that time, like me, if you were just a console gamer, that game was like mind-blowingly cool. It was just something that, you didn't. It was a style of game that didn't really exist on the Super Nintendo. Like there were overhead adventure games like Zelda or whatever, but Legacy of Kain was super mature, man. It had blood. You sucked. It was like crazy animations where you'd like vampire the life out of enemies and kill them. I'm pretty sure they did this. Then you would suck the blood into your mouth to stay alive. And then there were sequels to that game that were made by a different developer. Silicon Knights went on to make this. After this game came out, which was reviewed extremely well, and then there was the huge debacle around Too Human, which there was a really great arc to that where people were super excited for it because it was originally a PlayStation 2 game, and the preview coverage for that was sort of breathlessly excited, and the longer that game got delayed, the more people sort of fell out of love with Silicon Knights. I'm trying to mess with my settings a little bit. That's why I'm not playing at the moment, although I can't remember why I was even doing that. Anyway, but yeah, by the time Too Human came out, it was more famous for the exploits of Dennis Dyack than it was for the game itself. There's a really great old episode of, was it One Up Yours, or it was some old oneup.com podcast where he went on and kind of had, I wouldn't call it a meltdown, but he sort of tried to psychoanalyze everybody on the NeoGAF boards based on some psychology books that he'd been reading. And I think I could take that page. and it led to it was one of the pre-Twitter, pre-Facebook internet explosions. Okay, I have to look at the book first. Okay, here we go. Let's look at this book. Let's read the book. Let's watch this grainy cutscene. But yeah, I mean, Too Human by the time it came out was kind of a mess. I kind of like Too Human. I kind of thought that game was okay, but
I had no knowledge of what was to come.
The subsequent Marvel game that they put out was total dog shit, and the lawsuit that they tried to file against
As you read this,
Epic
you
for
will
the
come to
Unreal
learn
debacle
fear as I
surrounding
have.
this game, where they basically
you too will come to understand.
this game was supposed to be on an Unreal technology, and then supposedly they rebuilt the engine from scratch, but they actually just recycled a lot of stuff that was in Unreal in a way that was illegal, and they lost those lawsuits, and the company fell apart. I guess it sounds like Dennis Dyack has resurfaced recently. I can't remember the name of the game, but he had a Kickstarter 2 or 3 years ago that was supposed to be a game very similar to this one, and the Kickstarter failed because people on the internet just don't like that and don't trust Dennis Dyack for a variety of very good reasons. Oh man, he's speaking Latin. How crazy is that?
Quam primum, Centurio Augustus. I would like to compliment you once more on your battle tactics. Our enemies did not have a chance. Do you believe that it really exists, Centurion?
I don't know, I guess he's started some kind of YouTube channel, and he's trying to revive that project, so
if we are to retrieve the artifact, then we must be strong.
Good luck to him, I guess.
And patient.
I don't really wish the guy ill, and you know, he was the head of a studio that made 2 really great games, or at least one game that was sort of special for its time and place, and this game, which I think is still probably a pretty great game. Like, I actually think this game, even the I think graphically it holds up pretty well. But admittedly, I do have like anti-aliasing and anisotropic filtering turned on via the Dolphin emulator, but you know, with the resolution bump and those filters turned on, it looks pretty solid. Let's see how it plays. I think now I finally get into some proper combat. I think this is also where I have to choose my Elder God. I want to say there's 3 or 4 main locations that you explore through different times, with different members of the Roivas family, or the Roivas timeline. I don't know if they're actually I don't know if they're actually... Ooh, the frame rate's a little weird. I'm gonna have to change the settings a little bit. A ladder leads into the dark... Pardon me. A ladder leads into the dank heart of the labyrinth. Danger lurks beneath, yet Pius's courage resolves. Courageous resolve does not buckle. I shouldn't be drinking this beer and trying to read this at the same time. Should Pius climb down the ladder? Yes. Let's go. What's this shriveled corpse? On a weird, mysterious cube. Uh-oh. I wonder, I don't know if I can remember all the different... Alright, let's see. So if I hold the left trigger, it brings up the... locks me into place. Oh, that's right, because you can lock on and... Okay, hit A. There we go. Chop that dude's head off, chop his arm off. Like, this stuff was mind-blowing at the time. The fact that you could chop off their arms and legs and had such sort of direct aim over... Whoa. Better move out of the way here. Oops. Manipulation of inventory items within current room. This functional as a current character to ready a weapon. This function allows the examination of objects within the inventory. Switching back and forth between sections of the interface. Okay. Controller audio. Volume. Display. Yeah, see that? Look at that. Widescreen or standard. That there was a few, I want to say PlayStation 2 games that had that option too, like Shadow of the Colossus. But I think those were a little bit later. So let's see. Cut that guy's head off. Zombie feeling around trying to figure out where his head went. It's pretty good. I think I do have to finish these guys off. I might have to do like a finisher. Whoop. There we go. Finish him. Finish him. There we go. Let's pick up this cube. Let's see if I can... I'm trying to remember a strange granite block lies on the floor. So that red symbol is the symbol of... Oh man, I'm trying to remember. So the green one is Zelototh, I think. There was a blue one that looked like a squid that was named Uyuloth, maybe? And what was the red guy? Chaturga, maybe? I think that's it. And then there is a fourth god, spoilers, it's not revealed here at the beginning of the game, but later, named Mantarok. Let's finish these guys off. Which is sort of the fourth god that you follow that sort of ties up all the loose ends of the story of the game. Man, I gotta, I'll be honest, this game still plays pretty fucking good. Whoops, I wanna go through that door. Wrong button. So, I think that at the time, and maybe even to a certain extent, even to this day, like this game was sort of like the big back-of-the-box bullet point this game was sold on was the insanity system, which, so as you fight these guys, you have that red meter, which is your health meter, and then you have a green meter, which is a sanity meter. And when the sanity meter gets low, the game does some weird things to fuck with you. Sometimes it's like in-game things where your character will kind of break down and scream, and you'll sort of lose control of them for a second, but there's a bunch of like interesting fourth wall breaking things that it does. I think that there's a good chance that anybody that's heard of this game will be familiar with those through just anecdotally, if nothing else. Like it'll put up a volume bar that ticks all the way down and mutes the volume, or it'll say loading and then it'll like pretend like the game crashed and deleted your saves. And like all that stuff was neat, especially if you didn't, like if you knew the insanity effects were there but you didn't know what to expect. That stuff was all pretty cool, but it really wasn't what made this game special. It wasn't what people like myself who were huge fans of this game, or people that played this game a lot, it wasn't the thing that kept us coming back. It was just the way that there's like 20 different characters in this game, and like because you're jumping from different timelines, you have different types of weapons. And it also means that you're revisiting the same areas several times through several different pairs of eyes. Which, like, that was the thing that was actually really special about this game, not the insanity effects. The insanity effects were cool, but if that's all there was, then, like, this wouldn't be one of my, 2 or 3 favorite GameCube games. But just the sort of the ease with which the combat can be undertaken, and the way the story sort of loops around back on itself a bunch of times in interesting ways and shows you different areas in different eras in a very interesting way is really the thing that cuts in the stone, square hole. How do I... Oh. Start. Which was that, the blue one? Okay, there we go. I have to use things from the menu. I guess that's a little dated, right? If this was a modern game, or if it had been updated for a modern audience, you would just hit the button and it would just automatically use the item that you need. That aspect feels a little bit like a holdover from the early 90s adventure games. That this was obviously inspired by some of these puzzles. These puzzles in air quotes, since there's really no puzzle, you just kind of match up the thing. This is like a Resident Evil puzzle where you find the crank with the hex shaft and then you put it in the hole, the hex-shaped hole, and then turn the crank. Oops, I keep thinking this game was made in 2012 instead of 2002. Okay. Can I do something here? I don't think so. I have to go to that door. Is that a statue of me? I must prove your worth by destroying the statue. Pressing R will enable Pius to select which target to attack. Oh, they want me to do, this is where I'm supposed to learn how to do the thing that I've been doing this whole time, I guess, because... I like that little stinger that plays. Little, like, sitar kind of a thing. It was actually, for a 2002 game, that was a pretty clever integration of tutorial stuff into an actual game situation. It wasn't, you know, wasn't on the same level as, say, Portal, but at least it didn't sort of force you to stop playing the game to read a, you know, a long, lengthy prompt, or like a Call of Duty 4 style tutorial where they tell you how to look. Button attached to a small pylon softly illuminates the room. A bizarre energy seems to radiate from it. Yeah, you always push the giant glowing button. This is a video game. I don't remember this game necessarily being all that scary. It's more of a... like... here we go, this is where I make the decision. Examine. Do I pick the squid? Shaped like a delicate dome, a pale blue statuette floats gracefully above the pedestal. Should Pius claim this artifact? So that's Ulioth. A strange sculpture resembling a red-clawed worm mysteriously floats above the pedestal. Should Pius claim this artifact? That's Chaturga. And this is Zelototh, I think. Zelototh? I think that's how you say it. I don't know, there's a lot of vowels and THs and apostrophes and all these god names. I want to say, so if you pick the green one, you face a lot of zombies that sap your sanity. If you pick the blue one, you face a lot of enemies that sap your magic bar. And the red one, you just face zombies that do more physical damage to you when you attack. I'm trying to remember which one is the easiest to start with. maybe this one, because like later on you learn like magic spells that carry over from game to game. And so like these zombies are easy to kill, and for the most part the sanity effects aren't that difficult to combat, I think. I don't know, I don't remember anymore. If I pick this one, at least maybe I'll get to see some insanity effects before I shut this down in about 20 minutes. But man, this game still plays pretty fucking good. I kind of want to play more of it. But at midnight tonight, Gears of War 4 launches, and I need to play a few multiplayer matches of that before I go to bed, because it's been 5 years since I played a... Poor Pius. Now he's an evil skeleton zombie man.
Eons
He's
have
Eddie
passed
from
since then,
the Iron
and I have
Maiden
learned
album
much.
covers.
I was once as naive as a child, but now my mind is sharp. With the power of Xelatoth, I can now
Xelatoth,
read the
I got that
thoughts
one
of
right.
others and make them raving mad with a mere suggestion. Face me, and you shall surely perish.
All right, well now we have to take down our ancestor, Pius Augustus, by putting pages into the Tome of Eternal Darkness. A small shrine, quote unquote, of candles. Their placement appears to be very deliberate, matching the etchings on the table and the walls. Illustration: the candles are unlit. Okay, probably have to light those candles, yeah. A diabolic drawing of a stack of human bodies, each one cemented into place. What twisted psyche could have executed this drawing? Though disturbing, it is meticulously rendered down to the subtlest detail, the precise anatomy of fractured bones and the convolutions of spines and ribs entwine into a mesmerizing sight. I'm pretty sure this is just the lyrics to like an Entombed song. Could be wrong about that. Maybe Dan Seagrave drew that poster. An ancient Roman weapon, a gladius, is on display. Pick up. Yeah. I think we get a page in the kitchen with that. There's like a locked door that you can use the gladius to open. But the first page, what's this mask? Ooh, a creepy mask. A faint hint of a smile tugging at the corners of the mouth and eyes, closed in deep meditation. I don't like. That's like a blowjob face. I don't think that's a smile. Yeah, let's take this chapter page. The Binding of the Corpse God. Let's bind the Corpse God. Let's use that.
I cannot say what was the true beginning, nor am I sure of its end. So perhaps here is the best place to start.
Yep. Okay. This is.
I'm reminded of ideas
like an
I first
ancient
encountered in
Aztec
Sir
temple.
James George Fraser's book, The Golden Bough, a study in magic and religion.
That's a real book.
We are overwhelmed by a very human need to weave a web of meaning where there may be none. Since time immemorial, ancient peoples have dressed up their lack of knowledge as
It's like
gods
a
and
book by a
demons.
British author.
I have
in
discovered that
the late
sometimes the
19th
fates
century
of
who
gods
tried
and
to
mortals intertwine.
like
and
document
legends are born.
various religions, I think, from around the world, and he faced like a lot of controversy in Britain because he included Christianity in that, even though Christianity was considered the truth back in those days and not a mythology like a lot of the other religions that he included, but was one of the earliest like attempts at a scientific study of the world's religions and its impact on culture, or at least the earliest in terms of
I have a great monument here, Mantarok. It is a pity that no one ever
It's having a casual conversation with this giant pulsating, spiky mouthed, eye covered pile of flesh.
beast. No longer will thy reign be kept over the ancients you have kept imprisoned. Thou hast
Alright, I guess that thing's pretty
seen the
creepy.
last of this world.
Poor Mantarok. So yeah, this is an ancient Roman attacking a giant pile of eyeballs in an ancient Aztec tomb. So already we're like crossing over timelines in a way that's pretty cool. Or at least South American, I guess we'll say. I don't know if it's actually Aztec or Incan or... I don't know, unfortunately, enough about any of those cultures to make a real commentary on it, but I'm pretty sure that's where this is set.
Purpose could happen to me.
Careful what you wish for. So I got a sword. She has purple hair, which I think they all did back then in South America. Why not? Oh, do I want to go this way? I think I need this thing. Delicately sculpted from sandstone, it casts an alert eye over everyone who enters the temple. There's a strange necklace about its neck. Should Elia take the necklace from the statue? Yeah. So can I put the necklace... Okay, I can put the necklace back to open that door. Okay. Let's go see what's through that door, and then we'll take the necklace. Pretty sure there are traps in here. Appears to be to depict pardon me, the design of the wall appears to depict time of the day. Perhaps the candles do too. Hint hint, nudge nudge, wink wink. Nudge is the same as a wink to a blind bat. Don't step on that. Don't. No. Careful, careful. Oh. Uh-oh. Pretty sure that's a Chaturga zombie. When located by creatures, a sanity loss occurs, causing a decrease in the level of the sanity meter and the character to pulse green. Be aware, sanity loss affects perception and eventually health. Whoop. Oh, okay, that's my sanity meter. Oh, nope, get off me. Oh, nope, you're supposed to be... Oh. I didn't want to examine that right now. I want to lock onto this guy. And then hit him in his dumb face. There we go. Oh. There you go. Cut off his arm. Get that other arm. What are we going to do? Bleed on me? It's just going to stand there until I kill him. There we go. Maybe I shouldn't do that so I can use my sanity gauge. Does that depict a time of day? Perhaps the candles do too. Press XA or YAX to... Okay. There we go. Let's open the door. I really like that stinger. I love games that have those little hits of music when you either solve a puzzle or oop, careful, careful. Wish I could turn the camera here and step on those plates. But obviously that's a Legend of Zelda thing, but the ones in Gears of War are really good too. And man, there's a lot of games that have really good musical stingers. Okay. So, alright, I went that way. I think I can take this necklace now and go the other way out of here. And heal myself. Oh, okay, there we go. Use that. Oh. Oh, that's right. If you're casting a spell in this game, you can't move. Nice. Alright, let's go through here. Some more zombies. Just kill these zombies while they're laying on the ground. This way, this way. Nothing there. Nothing there. Let's see, can I get through here? Sneak that way. Run through here. Oh. Uh-oh. It's a blue Yulioloth. That's a pretty good looking zombie, right? Cut his head off. Arm off. Maybe I should have went with those guys. Those guys seem pretty weak. I don't know. If I remember, the Chaturga ones, or the Chaturga ones were the most difficult, the red guys. Just because they take so much more, so many more hits to kill. Let's see. So when I... whoops. Hit the wrong button. I'm used to playing this with a GameCube controller, which had that great big A button in the middle, which was sort of rimmed by the X and Y buttons and the B button. I'm playing this on an Xbox controller, an Xbox 360 controller. So I think I made it so that the X and Y can correspond to the Xbox 360's X and Y, but it's still a little awkward from time to time. There we go. Okay, so if you go this way first, you take that necklace, you put the bronze necklace on the statue, and then you can keep the necklace that heals you. As opposed to, whoa! This is just 1-1. Should be safe. That one, go. What's this? It's the blowgun. Yeah, I'm taking the blowgun. Can I use that? Whoa! Probably should have left that, huh? Oh, man. My sword broke.
Passage in the temple.
All right. Okay, I can't use that. I can use this blowgun though. This doesn't seem like a very good weapon. Yeah, whoa, wow, killed him pretty quick. Can I finish him off? I guess not. Hey, you leave him alone, you big green meanie. Oh! Oh, what is happening? The guard is grateful for saving his life. Okay. Whoa. Oh, I see. That's the insanity effect. He's an evil zombie. No! There we go. Weird that I couldn't pick that up before. Yep, that's my sword. Thank you. Oh, and then he died. Is he actually dead, or was that just a insanity effect? Pretty good Elder God vocal effects there. I guess I really did kill him. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. Whoa. This one, that one, that one. Oh, whoa. Whoa, what happened?
This can't be happening!
Oh, okay, that reset the insanity effect. Oh shit! Run! 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 Well, those. What does that do? It's just more of those things. I don't know. Let's not find out. I don't want to get crushed. I think I'm about to die a horrible death anyway. Whoops, lock on. There we go. Oh, lock on's a little awkward sometimes. Alright, let's finish this thing off. Oh, that's our boy Pius there depicted on that wall. There's a oh right. Oh, insanity effects. This can't be happening. Ah!
No, this isn't really happening.
All right, that was pretty good. Just book it. Guillotine. That one. Oh my goodness. Oh. Just suffer nothing. Oh, that's right. The zombies from the different groups will fight. Look at this turget dude go. Fuck him up, man. You can't do anything but stand there and die. Okay. I'm gonna have to wrap this up in about 5 minutes, I think. But I don't know. I'm thinking about streaming. I had originally, since Joe likes to do his 31 days of horror thing, get a bunch of people to write articles for our website that gets almost no new content throughout the entire year, except for that. But I don't really like to write that much. But I was thinking about doing a 31 streams of horror, which since it's October 10th, I've already sort of missed that window for that sort of a thing, but I could do 21 streams of horror, so we'll take a look at some other horror games. I have a shitload of horror or scary games, horror-themed or scary games on Steam, and I made a big list, and there's like 40 or 50 of them.
Stop.
But
Don't go near it.
I might have to come back to this game instead of... Whoa. Is Mantarok hungry?
So,
Did somebody forget to feed the Mantarok?
reduced to feeding on flesh and bone, Mantarok.
Could
How
have just
the
left him some
mighty
kibble,
have
right?
fallen. You will surely fester for millennia to come. A slow and torturous fate for thee. You had best leave, young fool, or you will find yourself as food for the dead god.
I'm surprised he didn't just kill me. I think she's the actual, like, beginning of the Roivas involvement in this.
One of the chosen many, flesh and blood. It is now your destiny to fight the eternal darkness. I give you a gift in return for an obligation. The gift is your life, sweet dancer. The obligation is this. You hold one of Mantarok's hearts, the essence of a corpse god. To some it is a source of great power. From those people, you must defend it, lest they use it to destroy what little brightness your world has left in it. Guard it well.
Ooh, a magical heart. Now, since Mantarok had those big spikes pounded in him, does that mean he is recently a corpse god or a metal staff? Let's take this metal staff. Yo, what up, homie? What are you into hip hop? You look like more of a heavy metal guy. You like to dance, Mantarok? You like to get high. The porous stone of its body is covered with the effluvial grime that Mantarok has secreted over the years. Poor Mantarok. I mean, when you're a giant purple glob of eyeballs and spiky mouths, it's kind of hard to get a shower. I guess the best you could hope for is a sponge bath from the temple guards, but... Oh, I can just look around. Oh, I can just check out with Mantarok. What's up, Mantarok? How you doing, bud? Just looking around, huh? That's cool. I can't run. I must be either too tired or maybe my insanity. My health is full. Alright, well, let's go see what's in here. A stylized design resembling the creature that dwells within the room is carved in the stone. Okay, does that mean I can use this? Nope. I mean, if she's a dancer, you would think her cardiovascular would be a little better. She could run a little bit longer. Okay. I guess she's, I mean, she's even got an extra heart now, too. A magical Mantarok heart. Finish him. It's pretty much impossible to see those words and not immediately think of Mortal Kombat. Conjure some very specific imagery. Whoa, careful, careful. Okay. Let's see if he gets crushed. I think he'll get crushed. Yep. Ah! He'll get hit by the blades too. Want that sanity meter to get too low. Yummy, yummy, yum, yum. I remember some of these audio effects being a little bit more intense and scary back in the day. That just sounds like a... I'm gonna step on those. I'm glad that it doesn't seem like anybody making video games these days thinks it's a good idea to make you run towards the camera anymore. What am I missing here? I have to use that staff someplace, right?
Okay,
Oh, here we go. Okay, right here. There we go. Now what happens? Does that open that door? Okay, great. Pick that up and then run all the way back out here just to shove in that weird contraption and open the door. we're just gonna go through these guys. You gotta work on your cardio, Elia. You are out of shape for a dancer. I think my fat ass could make it farther through this temple sprinting than you can. I mean, I guess it might be exhausting being in the presence of an elder god, but I want to look around. I just want to get the fuck out of here. That guy is gross. Unsanitary.
Fool! You should have run. Instead you will die. Where is the essence of Mantarok?
It's on my favorite planet, Uranus. Get out of here, you big jerk. I thought those guys were on my side.
Where is it? I will not ask again, child. Very well, then. You will succumb to the horrors of oblivion.
I mean, that game's not that bad. It's a little boring, especially compared to Morrowind and Skyrim, but, you know, it's okay. A little repetitive with all those Oblivion gates, but... Dung, dung. Dung, dung. Examine. So when I extinguish A and X. Whoops, that's B. I'm hitting GameCube buttons on this Xbox controller. Ooh, that's a cool little scroll. A message in a tube. I found a message in a tube. Message in a bottle. Yeah, I mean, hell yeah, we want to open it. Suspicions of conspiracy. Oh. Alright, creepy Zelatoth eye.
Your presence is welcomed, Majesty. As always, I am honored.
Our dealings are a pleasure to us both, then.
He lies.
As do we all.
This flaw you wish to discuss with us.
My concern is with the other ancients. Ulyaoth, Shaturga. Should they unite with Mantarok, they will doubtlessly possess enough power to vanquish even thee.
As darkness abhors light, and light abhors dark, the others will not, cannot join forces.
Mantarok will be bound, and the others will sink into insanity when I return.
As has been foretold.
I was unaware.
There is much you do not know.
And much you never will.
Be certain to retrieve Mantarok's essence. It is necessary to cement our place.
Also, it's really tasty
Then
and
what
stew.
of Charlemagne the Frank? What do you intend for him?
The Frank is an instrument of light. He seeks to unite Europe under his banner.
With this in place, my guardians.
Charlemagne the
will
Frank
rest
just says what's on his mind all the time. He's a real jerk. That's why Zelatoth wants to take him
For your
down.
own schemes, Pius. Think of your future.
Then
I mean, I don't really have a future. I'm a skeleton man, still wearing Roman armor in Charlemagne times.
Or perhaps one, then the other? Just make sure he is removed from power.
Of course. He is as good as dead.
Poor Charlemagne. Okay, got another page. Alright, I think I'm gonna save. How do I save? There should be, yeah, there we go. Load save, save, memory card, slot A. Save and continue. There we go. Alright, well, I played an hour of this game. I think it still holds up pretty well. I think the combat's still pretty cool. I don't really remember the story super well, but the writing seems to be pretty on point for a game of this vintage. The voice acting is pretty good too, actually. I guess by PlayStation 2, GameCube era, like, people have pretty much gotten their shit figured out as far as that's concerned. It's a long, there's a pretty big gap between like the 97, 98 voice acting, and then like Metal Gear Solid comes out, and developers realize that they can't get away with the Resident Evil style shit for as much charm as those games had. At a certain point, it's kind of hard to tell any sort of serious or interesting story with that. It just comes off as kind of funny. So anyway, that's a little glimpse of Eternal Darkness. I think this game still seems pretty good. It was definitely one of my favorite games of that era. And I'm pleasantly surprised that it holds up better than I thought it would, honestly. Although, like, PlayStation 2 and GameCube era games tend to hold up a lot better than their predecessors in the PlayStation and the Nintendo 64 days. But I don't know. I'll be back tomorrow with something, I think. I don't know if I'm going to be playing this or some weird random thing off of my Steam list, or maybe some other weird emulator stuff of the like Super Nintendo or Nintendo or Atari 2600 days or something. I don't know, it could be anything, but Eternal Darkness, still pretty dope. If anybody's watching, thanks for hanging out. If you're checking this out on YouTube, thanks for that too, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.